Yeah. Time to bring the bass dirt. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Wait, shut up. Hey, on my mama.
Okay, what's up, everybody? This is episode 8 of What's Good in the Hood. Today's special guest, we have Major, who is a local business owner. He owns a barbershop called Fresh to Death Cutz. So tell me a little bit about Fresh to Death Cutz, Major.
Well, Fresh to Death Cutz has been open. This May will be 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, so I created actually Fresh to Death back in 2013. It was actually before it was a storefront. Fresh to Death by definition has that old school sound vibe to it, but new school meaning means better than everything else. Mm-hmm. So that's what I aspire to do, is be better than the competition. Not to down talk or downplay any other brother in my craft, but to just let it be known that we stand out better than everything else.
So you just want to be better than everybody else?
That's pretty much it. That's what
so you had that better than everybody, man. Like you just want to let your work ethic show for that. Yeah. Basically, and that's
and that was kind of the idea was like, you know, I worked in a couple shops prior to being an owner, and there was some things that I saw that I didn't like and that the people didn't like. You know, the feedback from, you know, reviews and stuff. So I wanted to change that. You know, one of the things being is I wanted a family-friendly environment so that, you know, people of all ages and different backgrounds and creeds can have this safe environment to come and get their haircut without having to worry about, you know, bad language on the radio or things on the TV, or just, you know, inappropriate conversations amongst the barbers.
So you pride yourself in letting your shop be like a cool little environment for not being too ghetto, or you know what I'm saying, like being a cool kid, family,
being a fly shop, but appropriate. So you could come in there and get your barbershop talk, but you can also, you know, don't have to worry about your kids hearing about guns and drugs and women and just inappropriate things. Because, you know, my client list, I cut over 200 clients right now, and that ranges from anywhere from, we cut from 2 years old all the way up to 70, 80 years old. We take everybody. And, you know, and that's one of the things that we just want to appreciate everybody that comes to our barbershop and in the community. That's what we you know, we're about, trying to get a pillar in the community. So, that's what it was about for me, man. Just trying to be better.
That's what's up. I came across you, let's see how we met. I came across you, first time I met you was, do you know the wellness club down the street from you? No, she knows you. Her name is Susie.
That does the Herbalife stuff.
And she was like, like I was doing my hood app stuff.
Right.
I was doing my hood app stuff, and then she was like, you should go talk to Major. And she was like, here's his card. Right. And she was like, it's a little ghetto in there, and I was like, I ain't tripping. I'll go talk to him, you know. So I went to the business with Gil, and that's the first time I face to face met you. Right. And then when we pitched you the pitch on the hood app, like you were down, like you 6 months. Yeah. Like we only have a handful of businesses who've done the 6 months so far, maybe like tops 10. Right. And you were just down, like first day, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me get that.
Right.
And then that was like when I was like, cool. I was like, this dude is cool. Yeah. And then from there, you locked me into your memory tank. Like from there, I was like, I knew who Major was a little bit. Right. And then I started like going on different barbers profiles, like Jose and my boy Javier. And then I started looking on your profile, like you were cutting Javi and Jaime, and I was like, he's, you know what I'm saying? He's cool with my people. I was like, that's what's up. I was like, you out here in the community like that. Right. And then I asked about you to like my people, and they're like, oh yeah, he's cool. What's it called? Whatnot. And then you came to the hood show. Right. Then I was like, damn, this dude is supporting us like for real. Yeah. And then, no doubt. Yeah. And then one time my barber, I only had $25 one day, and my barber, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say names or shops. Okay. But I went over there and he was like, no, go to the ATM. And I was like, bro, I'll bring, you know what I'm saying? I'll be right back with the 5 or whatever the case was. Right. And he was like, go to the ATM. So I left. And then I went straight to you. Right. Like I went straight to you. I was like, I don't know any other barbers. Jose is booked.
Yeah.
back to, you know what I'm saying? But crazy, so I was just like, man, I'm messing with the hood at people. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna give anybody a new try, it's gonna be somebody with the hood app.
Yeah.
So then I went to you because you were cool. Plus I seen you already cutting bare hair.
Right.
And then that's when I first sat in your chair.
Yeah.
So even to think of like, okay, that was my process on getting to you, but as a businessman, I felt like you know how to keep people in your chair. You have a coolness about you that's just like you make people feel comfortable, you support them. You know what I'm saying? You have a genuine coolness about you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, the last cut was my second cut. It was cool. Like I even tried paying you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, let me tip you. He was like, you tipped me. I was like, oh. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, hold the fucking phone. Like I tipped you, and you was like, nah, here, this is for you.
Yeah.
You MF comedy.
You're right. Exactly.
So ever since that, bro, it's just been all, you know what I'm saying, all love towards your establishment. And then I walked in and I noticed that you do a lot. Like I visit a lot of businesses on the daily, but you do a lot. And even from like looking at your floor, I was like, how did you do that? Oh, you did that?
Yeah.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Like asking questions about you, it's like, wait, how did you do this? You had a flyer for what is it?
Tourette's awareness.
Hope, Courage, Faith.
Yeah.
Tourette's Awareness Month.
Tourette's.
And like I seen that and I was like, damn, you grinding. Not only that, I seen you just got you got the whole front of your store redid with your Fresh to Death logo. Like you got the thing sticking out, waving in the wind now, Barbershop. So you are on your grind, sir.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So what you got planned for Fresh to Death now? Like what's the next big
Actually, I mean, for Fresh to Death, it's always been the same mission, man. I'm just trying to provide a golden opportunity for, you know, young, hungry cats that are trying to get into this industry.
Like barbers?
Other barbers, yeah. And that's been the challenge, you know, as far as being in the position I'm at, is that finding that team to fit together.
Does the business not succeed if you don't find that team?
I don't want to say it doesn't succeed, because there's different levels of success in this game, but...
Let me rephrase the question. Does the business not thrive more with...
That's correct. That's a correct statement.
Yeah.
The business doesn't get as big as it can be or should be if you don't have the right team. If you don't have the right team, and that doesn't necessarily mean just your barbers. That mean, I have a team behind me that, you know, when I need flyers made, when I need the, you know, people to deal with my property management, you know what I mean? Dealing with my social media and stuff like that.
Property management?
Like the property management, like for the building that we're actually in.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like sometimes there's issues with the building and stuff, and you know, I don't have time to go back and forth with emails, and you know, I'm a face-to-face, get it done when I come and say the word, that's what it is. You know, I don't have the back and forth type of mentality. So
who emails anymore? Like somebody's like, you gonna email me? Well, you gonna get no response. And I just gotta tell you that.
And that's how it is, because it takes them like 3-4 days just to respond to something. I'm like, dude, like time is money, you know what I mean? But as far as the future of Fresh to Death, man, that's what it is just continuing to be a part of the community. Like we do different events. Whenever we get invited to, we did a back to school backpack giveaway. We just recently did Cutz for the homeless. Whatever other things that we can get involved in, that's what we're trying to do. And then just having, I had young cats that come in normally, and this isn't by choice, this is just how it happened, but barbers usually come to me when they're fresh out of school, when they're first getting, you know, learning the barber game.
They want that opportunity.
Yeah, and you coming into the shop, and you know, my thing is like when I sit down with a barber that wants to come work with me, is that I'm looking for that entrepreneur mindset. You know, with an entrepreneur, you don't have to tell them to come to work every day. You don't have to tell them to market yourself. You don't have to tell them to, you know, be professional and present yourself in that manner and represent the brand to what the standard is, you know, knowing who you are. So, you know, I'm looking for those cats that want to be owners. You know, they're just not trying to do this job because they're living with their mom and their mom told them they got to get out off their ass and do you know, something with themselves, but the actually people that are like, I really want to be something.
Yeah, like this is my step to get me to this step.
Right. And that's the opportunity that I provide, or that I try to push everybody to bring that best out of themselves. And you talk to anybody on my staff, they're gonna tell you, like, at times, yeah, I am an asshole. Like, I am bossy, and it's not in a malicious way. It's not in a I'm your daddy type thing. It's because not only do I have the standard for my business, my brand, but I have the standards because I want, anybody that comes work for me to come in at this point but leave better. Mm-hmm. If you come in as an apprentice, I want you to leave as an owner. Or if you came in with this certain skill level, I want you to leave with a better skill level. Not even benefiting me. I don't benefit from you going to start your business. I don't benefit from you being a better barber. Mm-hmm. I don't benefit from you marketing yourself. But I do have the self-gratification and the self, this is what I'm getting into, because I'm not an owner to be rich. I'm not rich off of the shop. But I'm rich in the aspect of I touch people's lives every day. I'm rich in the aspect that I'm making a difference in the barbers that come work with me. I'm making a difference in their lives, and that's what it's all about. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be an owner. You know what I mean? Because it just really is not worth the headache. But that's what Fresh to Death is about, man, is being better than everything else, being the best version of ourselves, to try to come in here and grind every day. Like when we first opened, we were 7 days a week, and we were like that probably for, I would say 20 months. 20 months of our first opening was 7 days a week.
Y'all been open for 20 months?
We've been open for 2 years.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, for 2 years. Yeah. And just the last couple months, we started closing on Tuesdays. And that was just because the staff was getting burnt out, or they're every day grinding. People got stuff that they need to do in their personal lives. It was just real time consuming, and then you're around these people all the time, so there's bound to bump heads and stuff.
What's like one of the most frustrating things as a boss, like as an owner of your own business, trying to manage people, or you know what I'm saying? Like what really grinds your gears about your employees?
Laziness. Laziness.
You ever just look over like, what the are you doing?
Yes, every day. Every day.
What they be doing? Chilling, eating hot Cheetos in their own chair?
Yeah, on their phone like this all day for, we're at work for 7-8 hours a day, and if you're on your phone like this for 6 hours of it, you're doing something wrong. And it's like, we all have those slow days. There's, you're not going to be busy every day, every minute, but you all have those slow days. But if you're like, it's a regular thing for you to be just sitting, you're doing something wrong. And that's what I tell my staff, is that this is a hustle, like anything else you do. And you can't cheat the hustle. The hustle gonna tell you exactly how hard you hustling. So if you
I know that's right.
Yeah,
Preach.
If you sitting
no results.
and you getting no results, you're not building no clientele, your retention is zero, you got cuts that you're basically on walk-ins, but then they don't come back to you. That lets you know you're not doing something right. You need to adjust what you're doing. And it doesn't take a rocket science to figure that out. That's just, common sense. I've been doing this for this amount of time. It's a numbers game. I've cut this amount of people. I should have this percentage of retention, and it's not happening. So what am I doing wrong?
And it's a lot too for a barber. It's not only the cut. It's that feeling.
It's that personality. It's everything. Yeah.
Hey, Tip. Hey, you MF Comedy. I was like, this dude. I was like, hey, you. I was like, after that, I was like, you know what? I am MF Comedy.
Yeah, the poppy collar one.
Yeah, like, damn straight. And then your girl at the end, she's kind of cute.
Monica.
Yeah. So then when I left, like she smirked at me, like she liked my hair, and I was like, these niggas know how to do business here. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but no, I mean, that's the most frustrating part. I mean, the hardest thing about, as far as what my experience is dealing with building that team. I mean, I have 7 stations in my shop, and they've never been fully filled. Just for the simple fact, it's very difficult to find 7
motivated
different personalities to mesh together. And that's another challenge as an owner. In any business, I could imagine, would basically be you have to adapt as one individual to different personalities who work with you or work for you. So I can't talk to this barber the same way I could talk to this barber. I don't have this type of relationship with this person as I do with this person. So you kind of got to understand their background. And so that takes time. It takes energy getting to know them. And that's part of your job. And if I was just a regular barber, I'm just like, I'm coming here to get my money. I don't care what you got going on, whatever, woo, 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 and I'm gonna come do my job and be out. But as an owner, you can't have that mentality. You kind of have to understand, why are you this way? You know, and can I cater to that? And how can I help you? You know what I mean?
Do you ever feel like your life is sort of like the movie Barbershop?
Every day I feel like my life is a movie.
Oh yeah,
every day.
You feel like your Ice Cube, you just going through it.
Like,
oh.
All kinds of stuff every day. I mean, and that's just at work. You know?
And then you got your home.
Yeah, then you got your personal life.
I realized the other day I was there, you had your kids in the next room, so you were doing your job, but you were being daddy at the same time. Yeah, that's
like, every day, man.
Like, you know, ask your mom. Oh, your mom's almost. Oh, how do you spell this? Your mom's almost here.
Yeah.
And then she asked you a question. How do you spell chromosomes? Damn it! Like,
I was like,
your mom's gonna be here in 10 minutes.
Don't put me on the spot. It was marvelous. She was like, "Daddy, how do you spell marvelous?" Look, your mom's gonna be here in a minute. Like, I'm working. You know?
Right, that shit same dude. And me, look, I'm getting my hair cut. I don't know how to spell marvelous.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that's an everyday thing, man. That's why I say, like, when you go on my Instagram, there's always gonna be that hashtag never out hustle. People think that hustle means that it's always about money. It's not always about money. You can hustle being a parent, being a brother, being a son, being whatever. As long as you putting your time towards, you know, you hustling. And every day, part of my hustle is the everyday routine. I get my kids up and, you know, take them to school, make them breakfast. Not like here's some cereal, but like literally make them some breakfast.
What do you make for your kids?
Whatever.
Like, what did you make this morning?
This morning we just had scrambled eggs and toast. But sometimes I whip it depending on the mood. It might be some pancakes, French toast. It might be grits, you know, whatever, biscuits. It might be whatever. But, you know, the thing is that effort, because my parents was always gone. They worked and stuff, so never had those memories. So I wanted them to have those memories like, dang, my dad got up. He cooked us breakfast every day. He took us to school. And then, you know, he went to work. He did his own business. My kids have memories of coming to work with me and opening up the shop and putting in the work with me to help see this grow. And, you know, they're my biggest campaigners. They're always campaigning for me and helping me out, bringing me business, bringing their friends and stuff like that. And, you know, and then I pick them up from school. So I work, you know, go to school, go drop them off at school, go to work, cut heads, and then 2:30 every day I'm picking them up from school and bringing them back to work with me. You know, it's just what we got to do as fathers. There's no excuse.
So I have a question, because we're talking about hustle now. That's a little something I be on the subject about, because, you know, I'm a hustler myself.
Right.
As you say, you want to out hustle these barbers. What makes you different than them? What makes you out hustling? Like, why are you so confident? Like, I guess, what are your results? What are you doing and what are the results that you like? That's why I'm out hustling with these dudes. What makes you different? The
first confirmation that I got that I was out hustling my competition was I had a late start into this barber game. Okay. And when I came into the barber game, I came in hard. I didn't want to, you know, everybody was like, start off like this. You don't have
What'd they say?
Start off like like start off small.
Oh,
you don't need a big shop.
Yeah.
Don't try to do something big. Just start off a little 2-chair shop, get something cheap and in the cut somewhere. And I was like, nah. I'm gonna go big or go home. I'm major way. You know, that's my name. I do everything majorly. So I'm trying.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to come into the game and let it be known Fresh to Death is here and Fresh to Death is gonna stay. So when I came into the game at the same level as some of those top competitors that were, you know, there's only a handful of shops. There's literally probably over 300 shops in Stockton.
Yeah.
It's very oversaturated with barbershops and salons in Stockton.
Okay.
But there's only a handful of your top known shops. And so when I came...
Could you name those off if you want to right now?
That would be giving credit to the competition. We don't do that.
I mean...
No. We don't do
you're Asian way. You don't have competition.
I am. That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
So, could you...
of course, anybody that's in the barber game understands and knows and recognizes who Enrique was. Enrique was it still is one of the.
I heard about Enrique.
Yeah, he's one of the known big barbers in today's barber game. I think he just recently moved to LA, so he's doing his thing out there. But in here in Stockton, I would say he was probably the king of the industry for at least 10 years. And he was known for Gentleman's Lounge, and then branched off and did his own thing with Enrique's hair studio. And one of the things, I don't know him too well personally, but I respect his hustle. I respect the grind. And one of the things that he's very great at is branding himself. And so from a distance, I kind of took note of what he was doing because he opened multiple shops. And so I was kind of taking note. I'm like, dang, how does he
multiple shops?
Multiple shops.
So you was like, damn, how does he do it?
Yeah, how is he doing it?
As a hustler, did you go, Enrique, what's good, bro? Hey, blah, blah, blah.
No, I didn't. I didn't even have that avenue to even talk to him like that. I just kind of took note, just watched and seen how did he brand him? How he created this brand, he created this logo, he did this, and I just kind of from a distance just started taking notes and replicated it to the best of my knowledge through my own research and my own networking, and figured it out, and I'm still figuring it out. But he was one of the persons, and what's crazy is that he's been around so long, and he was that dude for so long that majority of the barbers and barber owners in today's barber in Stockton 2018 either at some point in their career worked for him. And that to me says a lot, because basically you're the godfather of this barber game in this city, that the people that are known and people that are owners had to go through you. You know what I mean? And that says power. That's power. That's a big title. That's a big crown.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I was just like, I can't afford this haircuts. That's all I know. I was like, I can't.
Yeah, I feel it. I mean, but you think of some of the biggest names in Stockton of the shops, there's legendaries out there in Lodi that's pretty big that we hear about them all the way out here. Sal there, the owner, I don't know him too well either, but he came from Enrique. You got Kingpin and the East Side that the owner came from Enrique. Then a lot of these barbers, you got Midtown, Zach over there came from Enrique.
Midtown is on the mile too, huh?
No, Midtown is right there across the street from the, right there next to the movie theater where Metro and Edible Arrangements is.
Okay.
Right across the street from the parking garage.
Okay.
So, that owner up there came from Enrique's, and then just a lot of the barbers that are still floating shop to shop all worked with Enrique. And so I was like, man, that's very powerful to be the person, that godfather, to know, to say, everybody that's here came through me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Enrique?
I don't know. I know he's probably in his 30s. He's not that old. He's probably in his 30s. He's still young. He's still young. He's been known for a long time, but that was the thing. It was like when I came in, it was like I wanted to have the dopest logo in Stockton. So that's what I did. I wanted to have.
Who made your logo?
Shout out to Illusion on Instagram. He did my all my graphic design for as far as the creating the logo and stuff. And this man's dope, man. You just have a conversation with him, tell him what you want, the direction, and he creates this image for you, and then you say, I don't like that, like this, and it's dope. And so this was the final product.
Dopest logo.
Dopest
business plan.
I definitely wanted the business plan, but it was also on the look, because it was like every barbershop was opening had the same theme, had the same colors, had the same chairs, stations.
Was it like a little swirly thing?
Yeah, the barber pole. Yeah, everybody had the same thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come in and do something different. And now, statistically, when you look at businesses that are successful, franchise businesses like Burger King, McDonald's, and things to that nature, they base everything off of their logo and the colors of their business. So a Buffalo Wild Wings when you see it, without even seeing a logo, you could just see a building and know that's Buffalo Wild Wings. So I wanted to do the same thing, and statistically, the colors that I chose for my business, which are like red and it's like a wine red and a gold.
Oh yeah.
Those are attracting to the eye. So that's why when you see,
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a hustle. That's people don't look further down to notice, and that's true.
Yeah.
Like colors are emotions.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I want to throw that out.
Yeah. So when you
about colors too.
Yeah. So when you look at colors, it's like, okay, you may not even know that that's there or pay attention to it, but just out of your peripheral, you're gonna be like, oh snap, what is that? And then you're gonna see the big window and everything. You'll be like, dang, Fresh is that, they do this, they do that. Okay, cool. Oh, numbers right there. Let me jot that down. And you're gonna have that mental stain in your brain, like, man, I remember there's a barbershop right there. I'm gonna go over there. Now, if I just had the regular red and black or red, white, and blue shop like everybody else, then they're gonna be like, no, there's just another shop. I'm gonna try them out. Or they might not even notice it. So everything down to the T, as far as the construction and the colors, the logo, everything picking out for opening this business was researched and thought out thoroughly before it was actually executed. And that's why I feel like, I say I'm never gonna be out hustled, because there's a lot of cats out here that don't pay attention to those types of things or don't even care and don't remain humble in it. They're just out because we're an all cash business. You can make your own schedule. You don't have to be technically,
Oh yeah, I understand that part. But as a business owner, it's different.
It is different. It should be different.
It's a whole different thing because it's business. Like Enrique, he could have been good at cutting hair, but really good at business.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's dope at both. He's a good hair cutter and he's a good business, person.
Because you have those people who are dope at cutting hair, but probably can never run a business. Right. To be honest.
And that's true. Ownership isn't for everybody. Yeah. And that's the cold reality. Is everybody has that goal that they want to be bigger than what they should be, but it's not built for everybody.
Okay, so this is one thing I want to do, because I used to cut hair, but I didn't go into it because I realized, like, you could cut only so many heads in a day.
Right.
Like, what's the max amount? If you start at 8 and at 8, what's the max amount of heads you think that is? Like 12?
No, you do more than that. It all depends on how fast you cut.
Say 20, right? 20 times, say you're charging a dub for a haircut. Hey, can we get 20 minutes left? Okay. What's 20 times 20, somebody? Please. All right, I'll do it right here. 400. So that's $400 a day. Right. You do that 7 days a week. What's 400 times 7?
2,800.
2,800.
Major, this is why you run a business. What do you need a calculator? 2,800 a week. Yeah. In my head is like where I'm topping at. But then you own the business, it's different, huh? There's more room for growth. But if you're working a chair, like just cutting heads all day, that's your cap. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a cap. Like you can't cut over 100 heads a day. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a millionaire unless you take that money, invest into something else, and let that money work for you. Right. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go that way. 'Cause I don't like the cap. How it's like you can only do this much unless you open your own business.
Well, the great thing is about dealing with all cash business and being in the industry that we're in is that your income potential is on how hard you're gonna hustle. Again, it goes back to you can't cheat the hustle. So there's cats out there, like for example, there's cats out there I know that start 6 in the morning to cut hair and they're cutting till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. So that's well over a 12-hour period. You're talking 14, 15-hour days. Now, if you're an individual that can cut a fade in 20 minutes, so that means you're probably most likely booking your haircuts every 30 minutes. And you're charging $20 is kind of on the fair side for a price of haircut these days. Is more in the $25 to $30 range. Yeah. So your earning potential is great if you're working 7 days a week and you're hustling like that every day.
You know what? Now that you said it, let's talk about that. Was there a meeting between all barbers in Stockton and they were like, you know what? This year we're going up and everybody has to go up because just to make it fair for everybody.
Nah.
That's what I heard. Word on the street is everybody went up to 30.
I mean,
the appointments at 30. So you like Jose, like Schmack, like et cetera, like they all went up so that they're basically not competing with each other. It's just like you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I guess you can say there was a meeting. I don't want to say there was a meeting, but there is communication.
Yeah.
I mean, the barber community is so big, but yet so small. Everybody knows everybody, especially if you're somebody.
Yeah, it's Stockton, so it's like, oh, we know, like, oh.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like, you know, the owners know each other because we all started, like, before we were owners, we all, you know, like, Jose, I went to barber college with him.
Yeah.
You know, so I know who he is, and when we see him, I've done charity events with him and stuff like that, and it's like, you have these conversations, okay, what are you charging in your shop? What do you think? You know, and it's like, ooh, that might be kind of high. I don't think we're gonna be able to get there. Well, you know, it's like, well, based on your location of your shop, you know, you can only charge a certain price based on your skill level in the shop. You can only charge, and then the services you offer. Now, there's the big craze right now. Everybody's doing is color enhancement. You know, so
it's color what?
Color enhancement. So.
Oh, is that the line?
Yeah, you want a dark line.
The dark line.
You want to fill in your beard.
That's extra 5.
That's extra 5, 10, depending on how you're applying it.
For an extra 3 days of
crispiness. Yeah, but there's people out there that love that want to look their best.
I got it one time, not because I wanted to, but my mom was like, "Hey, you got to show tonight."
Yeah.
Me up, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
some people like it, some people don't. But these are services. I mean, you got the black mask and stuff that, you know, that charcoal mask that people are using. You know, barbers started doing eyebrows. Like, that was a new thing in this millennial, like.
I don't care what I'm going to do. If I ever come to you talking about, I want some black mask on my face, baby, do not let me do that. Do not start, okay, let me get my gloves on.
Yeah.
Just applying that. Nah, hey, give me a.
Yeah.
I'll take the whole.
I don't know. One question I had for Major, one of the major questions was I was wondering. So you talked about a little bit about how like you grew up as an entrepreneur. Like before you even went into barber school, like before you even became a barber, any of that stuff, you knew that you wanted to become an entrepreneur. But you went into barber shopping, and then that's what it ended up being. But I kind of wanted you to touch up on a little bit of that, like, you know, that growing up, like being an entrepreneur, thinking like an entrepreneur and stuff like that.
You said, what did you entrepreneur?
No, because I know there's a lot of stuff I've tried to.
No, it wasn't even nothing that I actually tried to do. When I say entrepreneur, I was saying it was like a mindset. So just like that, like I always knew that I was going to be bigger than what I was. I always knew that working this 9 to 5 was just going to be temporary. I wasn't going to do what my parents did, which was work in the Silicon Valley and commute, you know, and all this stuff. And, you know, I was raised just like any other person was raised, that their parents want them to get good grades in school and go to college, get a good job, you know, and settle down. Well, that wasn't in my cards. Like, I always did good in school. I got good grades in school. I went to college. It wasn't for me. How I ended up I fell into barbering by accident. When I was growing up, I'm like, oh, I want to be a barber. Like, no, that didn't happen. What happened was that I got tired of corporate America. You know.
Oh man, I'm just 23. I got tired of corporate.
Yeah, corporate America, and it's like you gotta kiss ass. You're on somebody else's time. You gotta ask to use the bathroom. You gotta ask when you can eat. And you know, I was commuting all the way to the Bay Area. You know, spending money and time. It just wasn't healthy, and so I fell into it because one day, you know, I was down on my luck and I couldn't afford to go get a haircut. I couldn't pay for me to go spend at $25, $30, not only just for myself, but for my son at the time. And so I started cutting our hair at home. You know, had a little cheap hair clippers at the house, bought a little liner, and I started cutting my hair, cutting his hair. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, when I look back at pictures, I'm like, it was whack, but we got compliments. You know, it's like, ooh, who did that? Who did that? I was like, well, I did that. It was like, oh, okay, that's good. So I was like, maybe I should take this serious. And fortunately, I was in a position to where I was able to go to barber college. Now, a lot of cats these days, another problem is that you don't want to invest the time and money into yourself. So they take the shortcut way, which is the apprenticeship program. And the difference is between going directly getting your license is you go to barber college for, I think the program's like 10 months. But at the end of that 10 months, you're certified, 100% licensed. Nobody does anything for you. You can get right into a shop as a licensed barber. Now the apprenticeship program, you have a license. You go underneath somebody else's license who is licensed, and then they're technically your trainer. And that program is 2 years. And usually the program is cheaper, and you only have to go to apprentice school 1 day a week on Tuesdays. So everybody thinks, well, I don't want to spend the money, the time going to school every day for 10 months to get it out the way. I'd rather just go into a shop for 2 years.
You can keep all the money that you make at the shop with under the apprentice?
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, that's why everybody's
work.
You get right to work, start making money.
Cool.
You know, so I got into it. I was unfortunately wasn't able to afford, so I started getting compliments. I went to school. I got licensed. And from that point on, like, I had quit my job, literally, like, cold turkey. Just, I woke up one day, and maybe it was just because stuff going on in my personal life. I was just, I'm not feeling like going to work. I'm not feeling like jumping on this road. And I was working graveyard at the time. I was like, man, I'm staying up all day with my kids, going to work all night. It just wasn't a life that I was proud of. Mm-hmm. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it all. I'm gonna quit this job, not knowing when my next check was gonna come in. And I had mouths to feed, literally. You know, I had responsibilities. And so you have to believe in yourself and your hustle that much in order to take those kind of risks. So I was like, I'm gonna go do it. So I went to school, finished school, I moved to Sac. And I was like, you know what, I want to get away from Stockton. I don't want to deal with Stockton. I want to go to a better, different neighborhood and try to make this money. Well, I was out there for about a year, a little over a year and a half, and you know, learned things on the business aspect, but I ended up having to come back to Stockton. And so from that point on, when I came to Stockton, I went into another shop just to build my clientele back up, get my feet wet out here. And I was doing that for about a year, and then it was like, it's time.
What shop was that?
It was at Kingpin Barbershop.
Oh, cool.
Kingpin Barbershop. I was there for a year, and then it was time to open my own. And so that's what I did. You know, I had finally reached that point where I was like, I'm not punching nobody's clock no more.
Yeah.
I'm not taking nobody else's bad ideas.
Okay,
and
I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it. Okay.
And
so on that note, we got 10 minutes left. Do we have any viewers who would like to ask anything? Any viewer questions?
Just where?
Before I go into mine?
Yeah, the question that I see here is where exactly is Fresh to Death?
Oh.
Well, Fresh to Death is on Miracle Mile in Stockton, 3206 Pacific Avenue. Cross street is Alpine Pacific, right across the street from the Save Mart grocery store. Mm-hmm. If you're familiar with it, it's like literally diagonally across the street from UOP. So that's where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And what was my question? Oh, I just want to ask, like, we pretty much wrapped up on your business. Jasmine, did you have anything to ask?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, you know, other than you just wanting to be the best version of yourself, you know, having that hustle for everybody, what is a message that you can give to other like aspiring, you know, owners? Because we see all the things that are nice, right? You know, we see the shop, we see the storefront, you know, but what are some of the things, you know, that you went through that you may have like gotten set back by, but you were like, nah, like this is the hustle, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
So what was that extra inspiration that got you through those hardships?
I mean, every day you literally, like, as a boss on any industry, your job as a boss is to solve problems. Mm-hmm. If you don't have problems on your plate, you're not doing a good job of being a boss. And that's literally what I do from every angle. You just got bullshit from everybody. And all you could do is fuck out of here. That's all you can do. And do it with a smile on your face and let nobody see you sweat. Like, and that's the biggest advice I can say is, you know, don't be emotional to be out here making irrational decisions, down talking to other people, hating unnecessarily. And when things come across you, whether it be financially, with your staff, with your personal, you just gotta remember, you know, that you've come a long way, and if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would be doing it, and the fact that everybody's not doing it, especially the Fresh to Death way, that lets you know what you're doing is working. And one of the things that that inspires me is when I see the results, the fruits of your labor. And I don't mean the material things. And what I mean is that like what you said when you first opened up, like I asked about you. I researched a little bit of who you were, who is Major. You know what I mean? And the feedback that you
get. And the streets talk.
Yeah, and the streets talk.
Yeah.
And the streets is gonna let you know, who is this cat? Is he known? Is he this? Is he that? You know what I mean? And some of the adversities that you come across, you know, is people wanting to say they want to see you do good, but really don't. You know what I mean? Really don't have your best interest. And so for up and coming barbers, I always tell them this: stay consistent at whatever you do. Whatever you do, you're not going to be successful overnight. Just because you post one picture doesn't mean you're going to get 1,000 likes on it. Your schedule's going to be full. But stay posting pictures. Somebody's going to notice it. You never know who's watching you as an owner, as a barber, as a person. You never know who's watching. And you may touch somebody from a distance, you know, and say, oh, you know, I saw Major doing, I saw that person at Fresh It Up doing that. I want to be that. There's a lot of kids that are not even my kids, believe it or not, that say, I want to be a barber because of you. You're cool. You know what I mean? And that, to me, that's worth more than the $20 I'm going to make, because you had the opportunity to give this child or this person a dream. To say, I want to do this. And whether they really do it or not, never know, but this is what you need to do. So as you're solving problems, you always remember those good times that you helped this person, you changed this, you did this, you accomplished that. And sometimes that weight gets heavy, but you have to have a strong support system, a strong team. I couldn't be where I'm at right now by myself. Major Way is only one person, but the staff that I have behind me, my team that takes care of me and keeps me informed and takes care of business. I send a text message, I need this done by this date, it's done. You know what I mean? And that kind of luxury is making sure you are the company you keep. Having the right people in your corner. You know, you can't, as much as we all want to keep it real and be down, those down people are going to keep you down sometimes. Unless you have those cats in your life that are doing something with themselves. And that's really what I did. I cut everybody off of my life. This is a true story. I'm not making this up for the cameras or nothing. Like, this is a true story. I cut family off, friends off, and people that didn't even do nothing to me, just because I needed to refocus my group on where I wanted to be. Where this is what I want to be. I want to be in the barber industry. I need to focus everything and who I deal with, barber, everything related. And that's what I did. I eat, sleep, and breathe getting money and people that were trying to get to it and better themselves, taking care of their families. I don't mess with no deadbeat dads. If you don't take care of your kids, you can't mess with me. So, you know what I mean? Like, this is on some real grown man stuff. And that's what it was about, man. And then hopefully people can say, you know, yeah, he led by example. And I tell anybody who comes work for me, I'm a barber before I'm an owner. I'm in the trenches every day with my staff. Like, I cut 6 days a week. This is true facts. I cut 6 days a week, and I'm always dealing with not only my cuts, but I'm dealing with issues with my staff. I'm trying to promote. I'm trying to make sure that we're always staying relevant in the community, just trying to figure out the next thing. And that's really what it is. Sometimes you gotta silence the background and just do what you know is right. So just being inspired, it's within yourself. You can't say, oh, you know, I sat at home and I read the Bible and God told me this is what it is. Like, that's cool if that works for you, but my ambition to be better and do better and silence all haters and just be the best version that my kids can be proud of and say my dad did his thing, that's what inspired me. You know what I mean?
Very nice.
That's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up, man.
Yeah. You want to ask him this final question?
Yeah, your final question is, why you think people should download Hood app? Well, and let them know about your local deal, all that stuff, man.
Well, the best thing I like, what you mentioned earlier in the interview was when you guys first came in and presented the idea to me, I was 100% on board, just for the simple fact, because not only that, like, I understand what it is to start something up. So anybody that's starting something and it's positive and it's good, I'm gonna support it. You know what I mean? Whether it be sending a shout out on social media, and you'd be so crazy. Like, it's so crazy how something as simple as just hitting a like button, so many people can't do for you, but say they support you, say they want to see you do good. But when you're doing things like this, that's what it's based on, is likes and feedback and reviews and all this other stuff. And you know, when you have friends that don't even take that time to support you and give you a like or give you a review or give, you know, that becomes hurtful, and you just decide like, all right, again, I'm gonna cut everything out and I'm gonna start doing this. So when you guys first came in, I was like, you know what, I'm already geared towards, I need to start doing something else to start promoting the shop. So this is a perfect opportunity. I like what you guys are doing. It's promoting local businesses, and that's what I like. I was a part of it. So why you should download the Hood app? Because it's new, it's fresh, it's a good idea that nobody else is doing. If you're a person from this area and you don't know what you want to eat or where you want to get a haircut or where you want to go to a comedy show, it's right there on the Hood app. You know what I mean? You can get all your information. And the best thing I like about it, it's not geared just towards one industry. It's not just for food. It's not just for barbers. But you guys, when I went to the showcase, you guys had artists out there, like drawing, like real artists, and you know, musicians, and you have business owners, and it's like, wow, it's a whole community, not just one industry, but a whole community of different people. I just met somebody that does custom pancakes. Like I've never even saw nothing like that.
It's
before.
a culture.
Yeah,
it's a culture full of hustlers.
Right.
It's a culture full of hustlers.
Exactly.
Everybody on the app, no matter what business, you a hustler, you an artist, you hustling, you
right.
And just doing this show, all the content that you release, that we both just released here, it's just hustle mentality.
Right.
And that's what Hood is.
Yeah.
And that's why I think you clicked so easily. When we came in, you was already like on the hustle mode. You like, oh, on the train,
right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and then you guys got the local promos where, you know, if I say, hey, this week I'm doing $5 off Cutz, you know,
throw it out there.
And then you guys can go on the app and say, ooh, what is Fresh to Death doing this week? Oh, they're taking $5 off. Cool. And you wouldn't have known that if you weren't you weren't in the hood.
Exactly.
So you wouldn't have known that. But so all that information is good. I support the app, man. I mean, I love the fact that you guys are doing this, and you guys, you know, and staying humble at that. You know what I mean? And like you said before the interview, it's like we're doing this regardless of where we're at, what we got, we're doing.
It's gonna be a cave right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're still gonna
and that's what
find
it
the pigeon and tie our interview to his leg and send it that out there.
And that's what it takes. It takes that I'm gonna make this happen regardless of what has to happen. Where if I don't have the best venue, if I don't have the best whatever, I'm gonna do it anyways, the best that I can. And that's you can't hate on the hustle. All you can do is like, man, I see you, and whatever I can do to help, I'm here for you. And that's what the community is all about.
That's what's up.
Last thing, Major, where can people find you?
People can find me all the time. I do appointments through Bookski. So you can look me up on Bookski. It's an app, Fresh to Death. Of course, I'm on the Hood app. You can look there. Definitely look for any promos that are coming out. I usually drop something at least once a month. This month we're doing the Tourette awareness that MF said. I'm doing $5 off if you go on my Instagram at Way Too Major or at Fresh to Death Cutz. There's a flyer on there with all the information, and yeah, so that's what we're doing. That's where you can find me at Way Too Major, Fresh to Death, and on the Hood app.
Hey, bro, I appreciate you for coming out this morning. I know you got appointments to make, man. Thank you for keeping it real.
No
this has been episode 8 of What's Good in the Hood. Peace out, everybody. Have a great morning.
Shut up, hey. On my mama, I can't make shit up, hey. If I ain't a real boy, what you call it? I don't think you want no problems. Wake, shut up, hey. On my mama, I can't make shit up.